Hi folks, this is Sada here. This is our this is our first video of our series on Laravel and Hasura for microservices. So trust me, I mean the major promise of my channel is that we are going to do wonders with the latest tech, but we are going to do it the easy way. So we are not really going to make you do stuff that's like really out of the way, and then you have to learn a lot of stuff. So that's why I've chosen Hasura. As I said in the introductory video, Hasura basically has a graphical user interface, and you can do pretty much everything without leaving the graphical user interface. So and it's really easy to get started with. As for the Laravel side, I can't really say the same for Laravel, that you won't need any prerequisite knowledge of Hasura of Laravel. You will certainly need at least some knowledge of API development with Laravel. But even the most basic knowledge is fine. I'll try that this series is as beginner friendly as possible, but at the same time there are certain things that we'll skip, for example like installing Docker and and other stuff which is pretty easy to figure out. So first of all, without further ado, as the cliche goes, as everyone says, without further ado, let's get started. So we'll just search for Hasura documentation in good old Google. And we'll go to the overview section just to get there a little faster. Okay, and right off the bat you'll see two options, like quick start with Hasura Cloud and quick start with Hasura using Docker. So so note that that both are quick starts. But anyways, like Hasura Cloud is basically the online version of Hasura, the cloud version of Hasura. And you can go to cloud.hasura.io and create an account, and just this is actually a great option to play with the GraphQL engine. And what you can do is you can actually there's actually a free forever tier as well, where you don't need to reach for your wallet or your credit card, and then you can simply start free with this. But the standard tier is slightly on the higher side for at least for hobby projects and stuff. Once you get your stuff going, you can very well switch to the standard tier, and that should be fine. But since most of our action is in this series is going to happen locally, so we are going to use the Docker version. And you go to quick start with Docker, and you'll see so the prerequisites are, just like I said, you need to have Docker installed. Now the reason I'm also choosing Docker is that Docker is basically OS agnostic, so you can almost everyone any and everyone can install Docker easily on their machine. Most of the developers these days, they already have Docker installed on the machine, and like it's pretty much a prerequisite for a lot of development. Also, Laravel also uses Docker. We'll be working with Laravel Sail, and so just to make things easy, I think for local development, and so that everything is in sync, Docker is a great option. So what we'll do first is we'll go here. So we just need to get the Docker compose YAML file. Okay, and you just copy it from here, and we'll go here, and I'll go to my code folder, and then I'll create a directory. Okay, and we'll go to the directory, and we'll just paste this command here. And all this will do is this will download the Docker compose YAML file from the Hasura repository, And if you're using wget, you can use this command as well. I'll use curl. That's the easier way to do it on a Mac. And what I'll do is, all you have to do after this is run the docker compose up -d command. So this will run this in the detached format. And okay, so what's happening is, this was supposed to take quite some time, but since I've done this a few times before on this machine, so the images are already there. So it just creates the containers and just makes them up and running. So this is not taking a lot of time. Before we open the console, let's quickly go through the docker compose YAML file. Okay, so we'll open this in VS Code and we'll go to docker compose YAML. And first of all, you'll see that there is you'll see that there is like this Postgres 15 image, and then there is also the Hasura GraphQL engine image, which is version 2.37.0. all right, and it's going to be visible on port 8080. Now there are also some environment variables that we need to go through. So first of all, there is like Hasura GraphQL metadata database URL. So this is basically the database URL, as the name says. So this has, for example, like the name of the database, the name of the user, the password, and the port and everything. So this is where your schema is going to be. This is where your metadata is going to be stored. So so then there is like a PG database URL. So this is basically a ditto of this. So if you do, like, if you select this and do a Control D, this is exactly the same. So this is going to be used. We are going to use this this variable to connect the Postgres database, as you'll see shortly, to the Hasura GraphQL engine. Then the GUI that you're going to see, let's quickly open this. Actually, going here, we'll come here and we'll go to the GraphQL engine. We'll see it's going to open it on port 8080. So there you have it. That's the GraphQL. That's the Hasura GraphQL console. So we are going to, for the sake of sanity, we're always going to have this to true, because we are going to work mostly with the console. Then there's like Hasura GraphQL dev mode. So dev mode is what it says it is. It's basically ideal for development and debugging. So we'll also keep this to true when we're deploying. We are of course going to change this to false in production. Then there is Hasura GraphQL enabled log types. So these are the different log types that are going to be available, and we are going to cover these further down in the series. So these are some defaults. So what we'll do is, I think we already have this running. So so one thing that will come straight at you when you open this is secure your endpoint. So this comes with a bang, so that means this is something important. So let's take care of that first. So right now it says the GraphQL endpoint is public, and you should add an admin secret. So anyone can really access this URL and make GraphQL queries. Now this is in local, and it doesn't probably matter that much, but yeah, we still need to make sure that it's protected by a password. So by an admin secret, as they call it. So we'll go to line 28 and we'll see Hasura GraphQL admin secret, which is commented out. So you can start without one, you can keep it without one, but yeah, I think this would make sense, because further down the line it's going to be extremely important to make this to have this enabled. So we're going to we're just going to go with the default my admin secret key. We're just going to copy it. I mean, in production of course you'll need something more robust, but I think this is good for now. So what we'll do is, since we have enabled this now, if we refresh it, it won't work because we haven't recreated the containers. So what we'll do is we'll run the docker compose up -d command once again, and as you can see, it's recreating the GraphQL engine, and this is going to, as soon as it is done and we refresh, this is going to redirect us to the enter admin secret key input. So that means basically a page where we need to actually input the admin secret. So we can enter this and we can make it remember on this browser so it doesn't bug us again and again. And we can do enter, and as you'll see, you're taken straight to the console again, but you don't see the message anymore. So that's a good thing. Our next stop is going to be in the data tab. So over here you'll see it says connect your first database. So you'll see multiple databases here. You'll see AlloyDB, you'll see Amazon Athena, you'll see BigQuery, you'll see Citus, you'll see CockroachDB, MySQL Server, and then more used of the lot, MariaDB, MySQL, PostgreSQL. We also have Oracle and Snowflake. So Snowflake is kind of like a new kid on the block. So Hasura team is really awesome. They keep updating these lists of databases. They've recently enabled support for almost all of these. I mean, over the past year or so. So they're constantly working to make more and more databases available to the team. For this series, as we discussed in the introductory session, we are going to use Postgres. So we'll just do connect existing database, and you can just put any name here. We haven't really started a project yet, so we'll just name it Postgres. You can literally name it anything; it doesn't matter. Now there are two ways of connecting the database. One is the database URL. So if you go here, it will give you the much needed warning. So basically that database URL is going to be here. Okay, so this is going to be the database URL. Okay, we have the PG database URL, which is this. So we can very well copy this and use it here. Sorry about this. We can use it here, but this is not the right way of doing it, because right now it's we're just in the learning mode, and we were just using these defaults. So that probably might be fine for this series, but as such, this is exposing sensitive information. So this actually has your database name, your database password, the user, the port, and everything. So this is certainly not secure, and the ideal way of doing it is using an environment variable, as the message says. So we'll go to environment variable, and we'll come back to the Docker Compose YAML, and we'll just copy it over, and then we'll simply do connect database. All right, so you see that the database is now connected, and that's that. So you have the database connected, and you have the console running. In the coming videos, we'll populate this by creating a table, but since we're going to mimic some of the tables that are some of the table structures that I use in Laravel, so we'll postpone this for maybe 1 or 2 videos. But yeah, that's pretty much it. So you have been able to install Hasura in very little time. You've been up and running with this now, and you have a database connected. And once we're done with the Laravel part, so in the next video we'll be installing Laravel and connecting this database that we have just connected with Hasura to Laravel. And once we are done, we are going to, I promise you, we are going to start with some magic in the very next video.